If you work a minimum wage job, it takes you a little over 9 minutes and 5 seconds to earn this right here. If you make something a little more average, if you make $30,000 a year, you make this in just less than 4 minutes and 10 seconds. If you make $50,000 a year, this is yours in right about 2.5 minutes. And if you're a child living in poverty, this is enough to provide you with education, health and hygiene training, physical activities, social skills training, scriptural teaching, and supplemental food for an entire day. For $32 a month, you can provide all of this for a child living in poverty in the third world, helping him or her to break out of the cycle of poverty in which he or she finds himself. We should be involved in the ministry of Compassion International, which provides Christians a unique opportunity to help a younger brother or sister in poverty and fulfills the commands of Christ in a meaningful and fairly easy manner. Compassion International provides Christians a unique opportunity to help a brother or sister in need. Tens of millions of children around the world live in poverty. Yet, as Compassion acknowledges on their website, compassion.com, this poverty is not simply a lack of food. They define their mission in this way: we work through local churches to provide child development programs to deliver children from economic, physical, social, and spiritual poverty, enabling them to become responsible, fulfilled Christian adults. This is why Compassion provides what they provide. They break it down into 5 categories. The first one is education. Educational assistance includes such things as school fees if necessary, clothing and school supplies if necessary. But for every child, it includes tutoring, homework help, and vocational training so that they can find jobs when they grow up. The second category is health. This includes hygiene training, personal health education, physical care as needed, and if the child needs so, supplementary food for their diet. Keep in mind that Compassion works in areas that are heavily affected by AIDS. These are children who have contracted AIDS through their mothers and have not done anything whatsoever to bring this upon themselves. These are innocent victims who need to live healthy lives and who have been denied that from the start of their life. The third category is physical activity. This promotes physical health. Compassion provides such things as sports programs, exercise, promotion of motor skill development, and professional evaluation of those motor skills if needed. The fourth category is self-confidence and social skills. This is linked to churches where they are exposed to loving adults. Some of these children, especially in the highly affected AIDS areas, do not necessarily have their parents. And so they are exposed to adults who can offer guidance, safety, and personal attention. In these churches, they are also provided with guided recreation and life skills education. The fifth category, again in association with these churches, and which is probably the most important of them all, is that these children receive discipleship. They receive Bible training, encouragement from churches and individual Christians who sponsor them, and that is probably the most important thing they receive, is that one-on-one communication with Christian sponsors like you and me. Compassion also works as advocates for children for promoting awareness of such issues, and they do not only provide the actual care. Through Compassion International, the cycle of poverty is broken. Children are let out of the systems which have enslaved them to such poverty, and they're given the opportunity to develop and thrive. This is not a program which provides mere handouts. Giving food is not the primary objective of this group. This is an organization which disciples children, allowing them to grow into the people that God has intended them to be. Compassion understands that poverty does not define these children, but Jesus Christ defines them. Compassion International also provides us as Christians a unique opportunity to fulfill the commands of Christ. There are 2 parables in Matthew chapter 25 that Jesus tells that get at the heart of this issue of being compassionate to the needs of others. In Matthew 25, Jesus states in the parable of the sheep and the goats that we are to first feed the hungry and give water to the thirsty, accept the stranger, clothe the naked, tend the sick, and and visit the imprisoned. Through compassion, we can provide these things. We can provide food and water to the hungry and thirsty through supplemental care. We can bring a stranger into the hospitable world of our love and our care that we know in Jesus Christ in these churches that they are connected to now. We can provide clothing for the naked as well as the garment of education and care which they can wear for a lifetime. We can provide holistic health for body, mind, and spirit. And we can connect those who are living in the oppression of the prison of poverty to Jesus Christ and to those who can help them get out of it. Compassion is long-term, and it is a holistic solution in the spirit of Matthew 25. In Matthew 25, Jesus also tells another parable immediately before the parable of the sheep and the goats, and that is the parable of the talents. We are to use our resources to invest in the kingdom of God. Investing in others in the manner described above in the parable of the sheep and the goats is investing in the kingdom. Such investment comes with the pronouncement of the master that we find in the parable of the talents. Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. By being faithful in the small things, such as financial assistance for those who need it, by giving out of the abundance that we have been given, God will see that we can be trusted with the great spiritual riches that He has to bless us with, and we can share in His happiness. Thirdly, participation in Compassion International is meaningful and it is fairly easy. You are personally connected to the child that you are sponsoring. You are the only person sponsoring this child, which means you are the only one having this communication, this connection with them. You write and you receive letters, and you have a chance to watch this child grow and keep him or her in your sight as they grow into a young man or woman. You are involved in cross-cultural discipling. You're fulfilling the Great Commission. It is easy because it is only, like I said, $32 a month, a little more than $1 a day. A little more if you're making $30,000 a year. A little more than 4 minutes of work a day. It can even be direct debited from your bank account, which can make it sometimes a little too easy, because you may even forget that you're doing it, but at the same time it's a convenience which gives us little excuse. You can go to 2 places to enroll, and I want to encourage you to at least look into these, and I'm going to give you the website here. It's very simple. www.compassion.com, and the phone number is 1-800-336-7676. In conclusion, I want to tell you about a little boy. You may not be able to see him too well, but this is Telson, a 13-year-old Haitian boy. He lives in one of the poorest nations in the world. Elizabeth and I have been sponsoring Telson for 7 years. We started when we were engaged, and we have been sponsoring him this whole time. He lost his mother a couple years ago as she died in childbirth along with his baby sibling. There is so little that we have control of in our own lives, let alone his life. We cannot control the fact that he lives in this poor nation. We cannot control what has happened to his family. However, one thing that we can control is providing Telson and children like him with a support system that they need to stay healthy in mind, body, and spirit. Hopefully, Telson will not only receive these blessings today, but he will be able to break out of the system of poverty which engulfs him. And in that, he can give hope to his future and to his children. God has called us to take actions such as this in the lives of people such as Telson. Please consider involvement with Compassion International today. It is simple, it is worth it, and it is up to you. Thank you.